Welcome to Coleman Report Live. I'm Bob Coleman. We're talking Main Street, the small business lenders help it grow. Chris Hearn, Tuesdays with Chris. Chris, to see you.
Good to see you.
Living the dream in PPP land.
That's one way to put it.
I got you to laugh. And
Yeah.
show off your shirt. Show off your shirt.
Oh, yeah, my national champion Baylor Bears.
What is
There you
your
go.
Connection with Baylor?
My daughter's.
There you go. All right. Congratulations. Katie,
My
good to see you.
my money and my support go there now.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Hey, we got a lot of stuff to do. Thank you all for joining us. Poll question number 1. What percentage of total nationwide 7A loans are for business AC? If you were on yesterday, you already know the answer. Yeah, it's, what is it, Katie? It runs between what, 23, 26%, Katie?
Yeah, so our most recent update on this is it's about 23% right now. I think we said 25 yesterday. That's just roughly it sits right around that area.
Yeah. So the reason why we focus upon this is it's a good lending niche, and these are complicated transactions. You have a lot of moving parts, and it really takes a professional expert to get it across the finish line.
Absolutely. Yep.
Number 2, if the loan broker receives a fee from the lender, do you need the loan broker's signature on Form 159? In other words, the borrower has nothing to do with the lender fee. Very good. Yeah, it's absolutely true. Correct, Chris?
Yes. Yes. Oh, there's been some new updates as of the last couple of days on filing.
Right, and we're going to do a webinar next Tuesday on that and redo 159 strategies, completions, and guidance and requirements. Number 3, what industry for 2021 PPP has the highest net dollars dispersed?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to go with number 1. I normally don't.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the default. Yeah, the very good 86%. Only 37 billion with a B has been dispersed on that.
Yeah, I'm
And,
pretty sure this year alone, I think it is this year. It's around 17% of the funds that have been distributed so far.
Let's see, Katie. Number 2 was construction was up there.
Construction, yeah, that was 28 billion.
Okay. And do you have number 3 there while you're looking at the numbers?
Yeah, they've got professional, scientific, and technical services listed at 24 billion.
Yeah. So I
But
mean,
it does help when your multiplier is 3.5 times instead of 2.
yeah, no, that's true. That's very much true. So we got stats. I love stats. Katie, take us through it.
Yeah, so this is just the most recent update. The SBA is giving us their PPP loan data about every Sunday or so. This is the most recent. We were kind of discussing how much is left, and we're not quite sure the exact number, but Chris and I were saying somewhere in the $60,000 range, somewhere between that and 70,000.
Billion.
Billion. I'm so sorry. We're talking way larger numbers now. Yeah, but we are getting through that amount. There are concerns about it running out before the end. I've heard mixed answers on that. Some people do think it's going to run out. Others are saying it's probably going to go through the end of this period. But it does look like there is still a bit of funding left. So if people are eligible, they should go ahead and start getting their applications in to make sure that they're for sure going to get this money if they need it.
Chris, let's put you on the hot seat. Give me a date.
Boy. I think it's going to last through the end of this month. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
How far into May is it going to last? I don't know. So much of this depends on, some of the largest banks in the country, basically shut down a couple weeks ago in anticipation of trying to wind down all the loans that they had errors on with SBA prior to the March 31st deadline, and then it got extended, so that means they have to start it back up again. I don't know how eager some of these institutions are going to be to do that, and I think most employer firms at this point, I think it's a fair statement to say that most employer firms that would qualify have probably already applied. There's probably not a ton left that haven't. So that leaves the self-employed business owners, which, yes, there's millions of these, and it's a big
But there's
focus.
smaller amounts. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's smaller amounts, exactly. So it may stretch the dollars.
I'm with you, Chris. I think we're well into May. I think we may last all the way through May 31st. There's a reason why that May 31st date was picked. I think someone was crunching numbers and they said, nah, June may be problematic, but let's go May 31st and then for 30 days to get it out. Anecdotally, my checking account's with Wells Fargo, and I logged in the other day and bam, your PPP loan application is available now. So they're very aggressive on their marketing. So
There you go.
that answers the larger bank question. They're back into that. So I hope I'm right on that, but I agree with you. It's going to be the smaller dollar amounts. The larger amounts have already, the more sophisticated the borrowers, they're aware of this and they've got it down. What's important on this page, Katie? I know there's a lot of data there, but what?
Yeah, this is a lot of data, and you could probably look at it in a lot of different ways. I think the main thing you can really pull from this is you are still seeing a pretty significant number of these loans going to businesses that are smaller. You see those loans going to businesses with 10 or fewer employees, and you're still seeing that for both first and second draw. A little more significantly in first draw still, but this is just 2021, of course, so a lot of those are going to already have been done, and these are just the few people who have just now started to need these loans or just now become eligible. But yeah, the real big thing you can pull from this is they're still doing loans to those really small businesses that really do need it.
Chris, two comments on this. Number one, I'm a fan of the larger loan size. That means this is getting dispersed well all throughout Main Street. And look at the lender count. 5,200 lenders are participating in this. Historically, 7A, it's around 1,500, 2,000.
Yeah, and I believe from last year, I think the lender count was like just under 5,500. So that means roughly 250 lenders sat this round out. That actually surprises me. I would have thought there would have been more that would have sat out this round.
Oh, fair enough. Universe of total lenders, everyone is eligible. I'm guessing. Pardon?
It's about 11,000. It's about 11,000 total.
Okay, I was going to say 10,000, so that makes sense. That's with lenders and everyone else out there. So about every other lender is participating in this, and what that does for the industry, it opens up these lenders who have not done SBA lending. They now have a taste of PPP, and Chris, you now have some more competitors.
Well, we'll see. We'll see who's going to stick with it, because PPP is a very different loan/grant than a regular SBA loan.
Yeah, and once the board gets that first letter saying, by the way, that PPP guarantee is denied, and you're on the hook for $150,000.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times over the decades. So yeah, lenders pulling back because it just takes one compare and denial, and that's they're done.
When everyone goes ballistic. Next slide. Lender types. Go ahead, Katie.
Yeah, I was sorry. I didn't know we were skipping ahead here. Lender types, this is breaking it down by banks and fintechs and things like that. You did see the fintechs coming into the program a little later than some of the others, but they do have a significant portion of the loans now. And yeah, it's just breaking it down by the different types of banks and lenders.
I would have thought fintechs would have been higher, but what they've really done, Chris, is they've become a broker.
Yeah, they have. They've done a lot of that, and I'm proud to see SBLCs and in fourth place on the list, and those loan numbers have jumped up a lot over the last few weeks, by the way. So that's good. I think those. Yeah,
that's nice. These specialty lenders. Yeah, the specialty lenders have done a lot of work, and I like to see the CDFIs and CDCs, and that's good. Katie, what's a to be confirmed?
I would like to know that too. I'm not sure that was listed on a few of these slides. I don't know if they maybe
it's
they're
only
trying
$30 million.
to what their category is or something like that. I'm not sure.
1,000 loans, 30 million surrounding here. Who knows what that is. Katie, you said we skipped a slide, Joseph?
Possibly. I don't know. Maybe threw it in later.
All right, well, let's go. All right, he's ignoring us. Geographic, here we are. Let's see. Number one, obviously, the usual suspects.
Yeah, this is just breaking it down by net dollar and loan count by state or territory. You still got some of those territories that don't have very many of them, and they are doing a lot of travel-based businesses there. So that is a concern for them if they're not getting the funds they need. But it is again, we have one of those to be confirmed. I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, this is just breaking it down by state.
Let's see. AS, I know, is America Samoa, so we need to do some site visits there. MP, the Marianas, is that what they are?
Possibly, I don't know.
What about Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico's done well, and Virgin Islands. Yeah, they're separate. Okay, good. But this is it gives you an idea. Obviously, it's well represented, and if we charted it out, I think would follow normal population standards. I don't see anybody above or beyond that. What do they call that? Bell curve? Is that what we learned, Chris?
Right, exactly. Texas is behind Florida a little bit in numbers, but dollar amounts they're well ahead of Florida, which Texas is number 2 behind your state, Bob.
Next slide. There you go, Katie.
Yeah, so loan size, this is just, again, we're kind of breaking it down even further by how much people are needing to borrow and things like that. That 50K and under is still by far that largest category there, which is absolutely amazing because that means it's reaching those really small businesses. It's reaching the people who just needed a little bit to get by. So it's that's going to be the stuff that's really helping Main Street, all those really tiny businesses that have really been needing this.
And for all the screaming and ranting and rating of the larger loans, only, 500 are there. Joseph, let's do a poll question tomorrow if anybody's received a $2 million forgiveness yet on processing on first draw. I think there's been a couple out there, but I know there's a lot that are in limbo. Average loan size, Katie, what do we got? We add all that up, we're well under 100,000, right?
Yeah, it just looks like we're still averaging below that.
There it is, right in front of me, 56,000.
Yeah.
Average loan size. Okay.
Well, and that's great too, because that's just above that first category that they've broken out. So that's really hitting. Most of those loans are going to have a really easy forgiveness process and things like that too, and that's going to be great for lenders. They don't have to deal with all these $2 million loans. There's not nearly as many of those, so that's always good.
Couple questions. Brian, we're addressing, I think we've answered Brian's question. When do we think it's going to run out? Chris is after the beginning of May. I'm saying to the end of May. Vicky says her question is she thought that if the lender has paid agents for the PPP fees but was not paid by the borrowers, so the form is not required for the PPP agent fees. My question was more generic SBA, but are you disclosing PPP agent fees, Chris?
We're not, there's no guidance that we have to per se. We do actually approve any of the agents using our standard SBA broker application. And so we get, an I-9 and all that information. I think in that question I heard you say, nobody can pay a broker to actually submit a PPP loan, however. So right. I just want to make sure clear. There were some issues last year where there were some usual suspects, referral sources who were charging borrowers to submit PPP applications.
Right, but lenders are paying for PPP referrals, right?
Oh, they are. Yeah, sure they can. Sure.
And are those? And I guess regarding PPP only, 159 you got to have it, but PPP you don't need to disclose it. Is that your understanding, Chris?
That's always been my understanding. Yes.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Vicky, thank you for clarifying that. Very good. We got one more slide here, Katie. Are we? There we go. The top lenders. I don't see Fountainhead. Chris, where would you be on this list?
Well, if SBA will release loans approved, probably necessarily be in the top 10, but they're using this figure as on net dollars. So we don't quite crack the top 15. Give us another 3-4 weeks or so. We'll see where we're at. But for loans approved, yeah, we're top 10.
Katie, did they break out loans approved for us?
I think this is the closest we're going to get for that right now.
Okay, and you can see that.
What's interesting on this list, though, is look at the average loan size per institution compared to what Katie just talked about, the average being $56,000, which is just slightly, it's right at about half of what it was last year. And yet some of these institutions have some of the large, have double that. And it's kind of interesting to see that.
And then you have
existing customers, larger customers versus some of the smallest small businesses.
Then you have Cross River and customers. They're down in the low 20,000. So it's good. Bank of America a little bit higher than I thought, 60,000. I thought they'd be lower, and Chase as well. So they're obviously different standards for approving these loans. Well, good. Katie, next time just come out. Let's try to get let's get the listed number of loans and get Chris on the list. I know you're doing a lot of work there, Chris. I know you are.
Yeah, but I don't. It's okay. I mean, if SBA doesn't want to break it out by number of units, that's okay. I mean, ultimately they.
And here's our final slide. Give you an idea of the industries, and there's nothing. It's nothing really new. 17% accommodation food services. I would have thought bluntly that would have been a little bit higher. I'm going to be very interested to see what's going to happen with the restaurant grant. Katie, have we heard anything yet?
I don't think there's anything new yet, but we are watching.
It's going to be in weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that weeks anymore, but they were saying that. I'm guessing we're gonna have to wait at least a few more weeks here before we have all the information about that. But hopefully that's soon.
Well, we're waiting for the three things. We're waiting for debt refi on 504. We want that. Shuttered venue, they've announced April 8th, so they're working on that. But we still don't have the guidance on that. And SBA has, yesterday we had the 150. I mean, they're cranking out the stuff. So this is, I'm not being critical of them at all. I know they have a lot on their plate, but we want those. Like my 5-year-old granddaughter. Now.
I'm going to try and figure out how many pages of regulations SBA has published in the last 12 months versus the previous 12 years. And I think it might be close. I mean, you never know.
Even for a geek like me, I'm not going to go figure that out.
Yeah, I know. It just seems like it's just been tremendous. The printing press.
It has been.
Yeah, they're smoking.
Maybe for our PR friends at SBA, maybe they can. Well, I don't know if they want that.
Yeah, statistic for sure.
Well, just look at the dollar amounts. I mean, that's the one statistic that's out there. Oh, very good. Any other slides, Joseph? I think that was it. Oh, demographics, real quick. Now the problem with this data is voluntary, right, Katie?
Right. That's the biggest problem right now is, if they aren't filling out that portion of it, we don't know. And you're even seeing that unanswered, not stated. That number is still pretty high on there. So we don't have the best idea of it, but the SBA does want this because they want to know if it's being fairly distributed and things like that. So they'd want to have a good idea of that. So they're publishing what they do have, but we do have to take it with a grain of salt here because there are a lot of unanswered.
Back to my statistics of bell curve analysis, this is probably enough of a data source to give us an idea of what's happening, and that makes sense.
It is overwhelming though how many people are not reporting, who do not want to report this information, and I don't know. Maybe as a society, that's a positive thing that we're.
Well, that's going to be that's an entirely different conversation. Congress always asks that question.
I know.
Yeah, CFP wants that information. At what point in time do we make it mandatory? Is it going to be mandatory? I don't know. But for right now, this is what we have.
Yep.
It shows a good disbursement across the board. I like the veterans are represented. I would have liked to have seen a rural breakout here, but we don't have that, so that's fine. Well, very good. Chris, thank you so much for your time. Keep plugging
Thanks for
away.
All right.
Keep working on that. Katie, thank you. I know you did a lot of that. We're doing a webinar in 40 minutes on change of ownership. Lance is doing that. Send me an email at bob@colemanreport.com and I'll do the paperwork for you. And then we're going to do 159 next week. Chris, thank you very much. Katie, thank you. And thank you all for joining us for Coleman Report Live, for supporting America's Main Street, one entrepreneur at a time.
Have a great day.
Take care.